In this video, we'll be taking a look at one NHL game happening on May 16, 2026, and providing you with a free team pick and total pick for this game. So 2 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on this one NHL game after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Buffalo Sabres versus Montreal Canadiens. There's something about a team that's already survived a Game 7 on the road that just hits different, and that's exactly what Montreal is carrying into tonight. The Canadiens walked into Tampa Bay's barn a few weeks ago, managed only 9 shots on goal in a Game 7, and still won 2-1 because their rookie goalie Jacob Dobes decided he wasn't going to let the season end. That kind of experience doesn't wash off. It sticks to a group, and it creates this quiet belief that no matter how sideways things get, they've been in a worse spot and found a way out. Now they come home to the Bell Center for Game 6 with a 3-2 series lead, a chance to close this thing out, and a building that registered 108 decibels during the first round, which is roughly the human pain threshold. On a Saturday night, on Victoria Day weekend in Canada. If you think the atmosphere isn't going to be a factor here, you haven't been paying attention. Buffalo, on the other hand, is staring down something they haven't experienced once in this entire playoff run. Elimination. The Sabres went 50-23-9 in the regular season, took the #1 seed in the Atlantic, and for the first time since 2011, they brought playoff hockey back to Western New York. That's a terrific story. But right now, that story is in serious danger of ending on someone else's ice. They've allowed 19 goals in the last 4 games of this series. 19. Think about that for a second. After a clean 4-2 Game 1 win, the wheels have gradually come loose, and the most glaring issue is between the pipes. Buffalo has been riding a goaltending carousel all postseason long, switching from Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen to Alex Lyon in the first round, then back to Luukkonen for Game 4 of this series, only to watch him get pulled again in Game 5 after letting in 5 goals on just 23 shots. Lyon came in for mop-up duty in the third period and promptly allowed another goal on 3 shots. So heading into tonight, Lindy Ruff won't even confirm who's starting. He told his team to skip practice entirely on Friday, skip the video sessions, just show up at the airport and fly to Montreal. That's not a team that's settled. That's a team searching for answers in the middle of an exam. Meanwhile, Montreal has Dobes, who is 6-4 with a 2.13 goals against average and a .918 save percentage through 12 playoff games. More importantly, he's 4-0 after a loss this postseason with a .948 save percentage and a 1.49 goals against average in those bounce-back spots. He hasn't allowed more than 2 goals in 5 of his last 6 outings. His third-period save percentage this postseason sits at .951, which ranks among the best single postseason marks in recent memory. And here's the kicker, his numbers at home are even better than on the road, with a .940 save percentage at 5-on-5 at the Bell Center compared to .924 away. This is a kid who became just the 5th rookie goaltender in Canadiens history to win a Game 7, joining a list that includes Jacques Plante, Ken Dryden, Patrick Roy, and Carey Price. The ghosts in this franchise don't haunt you, they carry you. The Sabres' power play has been a disaster, and there's really no gentler way to frame it. At one point this postseason, they went 0 for 39 on the man advantage, a drought that stretched back into the regular season. Even after getting slightly better against Boston late in round 1, they entered this series against Montreal converting at the worst rate among all remaining playoff teams. You can't keep giving away free possessions in the postseason and expect to survive, especially when your opponent's face-off game is lapping you. Buffalo has the worst face-off percentage in the entire playoffs, winning just 43% of their draws. Montreal's trio of Jake Evans, Philip Danault, and Nick Suzuki has been dominant in the circle, and in a tight elimination game where puck possession is everything, that advantage compounds in a big way. Speaking of Suzuki, the captain has been phenomenal. He put up 101 points in the regular season, the first Canadian to hit triple digits since Mats Naslund back in 1985-86, and he's carried that form right into May with a goal and 2 assists in Game 5 alone. Cole Caulfield, who lit the lamp 51 times in the regular season to become the first Montreal player to crack 50 since Stephen Richer, has been finding his groove as the series has gone on. Ivan Demidov popped his first career playoff goal in Game 5. Alex Newhook has been on a tear since the Tampa series. George Slavkovsky collected 3 assists in Game 5. The depth is showing up, and that matters because Buffalo's top line of Tage Thompson and Alex Tuch has been essentially invisible. Tuch has been held without a single point in all 5 games of this series. Thompson, who scored 40-plus goals for the 3rd time in 4 seasons during the regular year, has just 2 goals and 2 assists against Montreal. His own coach acknowledged after Game 5 that the team let Dobes off the hook, passing up open shooting lanes to look for a prettier play that never came. And let's talk about the building itself. The Bell Center holds over 21,000 for hockey, the largest arena in North America, and Canadiens fans don't just show up, they perform. They chant their goalie's name during stoppages, they sing during warm-ups, and they turn the volume up to a level that genuinely rattles opposing teams. When Kirby Dach was struggling after a rough Game 2 against Tampa in Round 1, the Montreal crowd chanted his name during warm-ups before Game 3, and he responded with a goal. That's not just home ice, that's a living, breathing competitive advantage. The Canadiens are historically 7-1 all-time at home in Game 6 situations when leading a series 3-2. Montreal tried to close out Tampa in Game 6 at home and fell short 1-0, but they learned from that and came back to win Game 7 on the road. That lesson is fresh. This group knows what it feels like to let a clincher slip, and they also know what it takes to finish the job. Buffalo is 4-1 on the road this postseason, which is legitimately impressive, and that deserves respect. But their road success came largely during a stretch when Alex Lyon was standing on his head against Boston. That version of Lyon seems like a distant memory right now. The Sabres are a young team playing in their first second-round series since 2007, and the moment feels like it's catching up to them. Ruff's decision to cancel practice and tell his players to just show up and play is either a stroke of genius or a white flag dressed up as confidence. Either way, it tells you a team that has been on its heels for 4 straight games isn't exactly brimming with answers. As our first pick for this matchup, the Montreal Canadiens money line is our full game side pick. This series has been anything but quiet on the scoreboard, and anyone who's watched the last few games could rightfully wonder why anybody would even think about the lower side of the projected total. Fair point. Game 5 produced 9 combined goals. Game 3 had 8. Even Game 2 finished with 6. So let me explain why tonight might look completely different from what we've seen. Elimination hockey is a different sport. When a team's season is on the line, the game tightens up in ways that the regular season and even the early rounds can't replicate. Every shift gets shorter. Every line change becomes more deliberate. Forwards start back-checking like their career depends on it, because in a way, it does. And the team with the lead in the series, the team trying to close it out, they tend to play a more structured, conservative, suffocating style because they know they don't need to outscore anyone. They just need to not lose. That dynamic changes the math on both sides of the ice. Montreal's 5-on-5 defensive structure has been one of the best-kept secrets of this postseason. Through the first 9 playoff games, the Canadiens allowed just 12 goals at 5-on-5, an average of only 1.33 per game. That is elite. Dobes has been even stingier in the 3rd period, holding a .951 save percentage when the game is on the line, and he hasn't allowed more than 2 goals in 5 of his last 6 starts. When Montreal tightens up and commits to their structure, they become incredibly hard to score on, and Martin St. Louis has every reason to lean into that approach tonight with the chance to clinch. The Canadiens don't need to win 6-3 again. They need to win, period. Expect St. Louis to put a premium on limiting rush chances, clogging the neutral zone, and leaning on his veteran centers Dan Oates and Evans to control the pace of play. On Buffalo's side, you've got a team that has genuinely struggled to generate consistent offense against Montreal all series long. Strip away Game 1, and the Sabres have scored just 9 goals in their last 4 games. Their power play, which has been one of the worst units in the entire postseason, isn't going to magically fix itself on the road in a hostile building during an elimination game. Thompson hasn't found his rhythm. Tuch has been invisible, and Ruff has admitted publicly that his team deferred too often in Game 5, passing up open shots to look for prettier plays, which tells you this group has been second-guessing itself offensively. That kind of hesitation doesn't produce goals. It produces turnovers and stalled possessions. Here's the other thing people overlook. Game 4, the one game at the Bell Center that Buffalo actually won in this series, finished 3-2. That was a 5-goal game in a building that supposedly produces fireworks. The blowouts in this series, the 6-2 and the 6-3, those happened when one team emotionally collapsed after falling behind. A tight, do-or-die Game 6 isn't the environment for a collapse. Buffalo will play desperate, which means cautious and physical. Montreal will play structured because they've been burned before when trying to close out a series too loosely. Just look at how Tampa stole Game 6 from them in Round 1 with a 1-0 win. That game at the Bell Center finished with just one total goal. When the stakes are this high, both teams tend to grip their sticks tighter and the pace of play slows to a crawl in ways that compress the scoring. Dobbs at home, where his 5-on-5 save percentage is .940, facing a Buffalo offense that can't buy a power play goal and whose top scorers have gone cold, in a building where 21,000 fans make it borderline impossible to communicate on the ice, on a night where every whistle feels like a pressure valve. This has the makings of a tight, grinding, playoff hockey game that stays in the low-scoring range. The chaos of Games 3 and 5 doesn't repeat when one team's season is literally ending and the other is trying to close with discipline. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed, subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.